Okay.
I'm not ready. I don't know where I went.
It's okay, it happened to me.
Okay, I found me. Thank you. Sorry.
All right.
Okay, we are recording.
Okay. So before we start this meeting, I would like to remind everyone that council members and staff are attending this meeting virtually as City Hall remains closed during Governor Inslee's Safe Start order, a consequence of the COVID-19 pandemic. Council is reminded that the meeting is open to the public via the Zoom link, and call-in information is posted to the city's website and in the council packets. I, Kathy Hayden, Deputy Mayor, will be presiding over this council meeting tonight in Mayor Pugh's absence. I call the meeting of August 17th, 2020 to order at 6:01. Will you please join me, unmute your computers and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? Are you ready? I pledge allegiance
to the
flag of the United States
of America
and to the
and
republic
for which it stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
So I am looking for Father Burns. Is Father Burns on? I do not see Father Burns. So we will move right on to Michelle, would you call the roll?
Potato.
Here.
Brown.
Here.
Hayden.
Here.
Hochstetter.
Here.
Newman.
Who's absent?
I'm sorry?
Who's absent?
Peterson.
Here.
Reed.
Here.
All right. On to consent agenda. Michelle, will you please read the consent agenda?
Item number 1, approval of the minutes from the regular council meeting of August 3rd, 2020 and August 10th, 2020 study session. Item 2, approval of the checks and electronic payments in the amount of $1,352,686.83. Item 3, Sumner Taps Highway Guardrail and Resurfacing Consultant Services Supplement number 1. Item 4, Resolution 1561, 2020 Water System Plan Adoption. Item 5, Resolution 1562, 2020 General Sewer Plan Adoption.
All right. And for the record, Charlotte Newman has joined us tonight. So as far as the consent agenda, does anyone wish to remove any of the agenda items? Seeing none, Councilmember Reed, could I get a motion to adopt?
Yes, Deputy Mayor, I move that we adopt the consent agenda as read.
Thank you. Councilmember Hochstetter?
Yes, I'd like to second that.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Passes unanimously. Okay, so we have no public hearing tonight. No unfinished business. So we're going to move on to public comment. I will ask the clerk to read the public comment instructions in just a moment, but first the public was encouraged to submit their comments to the city clerk by email before tonight's meeting. The clerk will read any emails received into the record. Michelle, were there any public comments received?
No, there were not.
All right, so is there any public out there that would like to speak to the council? Raise your hand on the little side bar. All right. Seeing none, we will move on to new business. First item on the agenda is number 2112, ordinance number 2743, amendment to the Water Utility Service Municipal Code. Cindy, do I have a motion?
Yes, I'll make a motion to adopt ordinance number 2743, amending Sumner's Municipal Code, Chapter 13.24, relating to the provision of water utility service and authorizing the mayor to execute any and all documents necessary to effectuate the change.
All right, Councilmember Newman, do I have a second?
Second.
All right, so I am going to call on Jason.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Hayden and council members. It's a pleasure to present to you tonight. This is a adoption to a revision to our code that is brought about by, as we've been studying our comp plan for these last couple of years, and the comp plan that you just adopted gave us a reason to relook at our code and find a couple things that could be altered slightly to improve our service in the utility, in the water utility area. To highlight three of the things that we're going to address in here quickly. First is we want to make it very explicit that stealing water from our hydrants is not permitted by the code. Our field crews run into this occasionally, and we've looked in the code and it's not as clear as it could be. So we've wanted to make that as clear as we can make it, that we do not want people stealing water from our hydrants. We don't consider or have specific exemptions for firefighting activities. We want them to be clearly, they can take the water, but if you want water from our water system, please get a hold of us and we'll find you a meter and a proper way to get it. Second thing we'd like to clean up, we have a request from the health department that if they determine it necessary to turn off water to a residence or a business for some reason, we want to have in our code that we will support them in that effort. And this gives us the opportunity to do that. The third area that yes. The third area that we're hoping to address here is in the appeals process. There was a request by the Department of Health and Department of Ecology and Pierce County Planning to clean up an appeals process that just could have been straightened out a little, made a little more explicitly clear how people might appeal a decision from the city. So we've done that. Part of that, we've worked with our legal counsel and our administration. The appeals process that was in the code had the appeal to the city council. And I think legal counsel and administration worked with the council before to revise that to our preferences to an appeal to a hearing examiner. So that's one change. And then it just cleans up a process that we looked at and didn't find was as clear as it could have been, and we'd like to address it before it raises itself and have it done ahead of time. So with that, I would be welcome any questions that the council might have.
Do we have any questions for Mr. Van Gilder?
I don't have any questions. I just want to thank the staff. Oh, sorry, is it my turn?
Go
I didn't
ahead,
hit-
Charlotte.
Okay, sorry. I just wanted to thank staff for going through it because some of it, in committee, we had a chance to hear sort of the recommendations, the codes, and in case anyone's watching, like they are sometimes like they are very practical and without like huge impact to your typical constituent, which is sometimes like the most difficult types of changes or improvements to make because it's easier to overlook all of them. Anyway, I just want to thank them for doing the work to bring the code up to date to match our plans.
Thank you, Councilmember.
Any other questions? All right, seeing none. All in favor? Or let's see, maybe we should have Michelle read the vote.
Thank you. I was going to ask you if you wanted a voice vote.
Yes, that would be great.
Thank you. Reed,
Yes.
Hochstetter,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Potato,
Yes.
Hayden,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
Newman.
Yes.
All right. Passes unanimous.
Thank you.
So we'll move on to 2113, ordinance number 2744, budget amendment, Metro Animal Services. And I will call on Mr. Reed for a motion.
There, had to get unmuted there first. Deputy Mayor, I move we adopt ordinance 2744 approving the 2019-2020 budget amendment.
Thank you, Councilmember Potato. Do I have a second?
Yes, I second it.
Thank you. So Chief Financial Officer Cassandra Raymond.
Good evening, everyone. Before you is ordinance 2744. This is an ordinance amending the 2019-2020 biennial budget. If you remember, in June, council accepted a generous bequest of $26,316.53 from the estate of Lori Wilson, a former resident in Metro Animal Services jurisdiction. The acceptance of the donation was done in accordance with our code, but then we've got step 2, and that's actually appropriating those funds for expenditure. Our Metro Services staff has identified some needed improvements that have been previously unbudgeted and are requesting the appropriation of those funds to complete these improvements. The improvements include an office remodel, including garage cabinet shelving, cabinetry, not only to provide some additional space, but also to provide additional ergonomic improvements, installation of Wi-Fi, along with the procurement of an iPad and a volunteer management software system that will really provide some efficiency with tracking our volunteer hours, and really just a good overall program that, again, was previously unbudgeted. So that is the ordinance before you this evening, and happy to answer any questions.
Any questions from the council? Seeing none, Michelle, would you call the roll?
Potato,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
Newman,
Yes.
Hayden,
Yes.
Hochstetter,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Reed.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
So we're setting a record tonight. I'm sure nobody's unhappy about that. So we'll move on to reports. Councilmember Reed.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. I just had a couple of things I was going to mention. One is I wanted to commend the Tacoma Pierce County Health Department and their the mobile testing sites. Initially I was going to do it Saturday here in Sumner, but I came down with what some people would call symptoms last week, as far as stuffy nose, headache, and all that. So I went ahead and went in and got tested on Wednesday and had results by Friday. It was painless. It tickles your nose a little bit, but that's about the extent of it. And got the results really quick. So it very well set up, was in and out, I think, in 10 or 15 minutes. And it was a quick process. And my other comment I was going to make was on recognizing the heat. I know people word is going around about animals and vehicles, things like that, but also just animals in general out in the heat. Doing strenuous activities is really tough on them. Make sure you're keeping track of animals and check on your neighbors. If you've got any neighbors that might have a tough time getting around or may or may not have AC, try and check in, say hi, see if they need anything, and make sure that they're doing okay as well.
Right. Cindy Hochstetter.
Nothing this evening, thank you.
Kurt Brown.
Nothing tonight. Thanks.
Councilmember Botetto.
I don't have anything tonight either.
Melanie Peterson.
Nothing tonight, thank you.
All right. And Charla Newman.
Of course. Sorry, you were so close. First of all, I think it was Councilmember Hayden, I think Hawkstar and Potato. And sorry if I left anyone out, but I think all three of you helped with school supply efforts this week. The schools, so I just wanted to thank you for doing that. This week, hopefully I'll contact you guys. If you guys haven't signed up, the Association of Washington Cities is going to have their first of 2 different webinars on local governments being more inclusive and equitable. So I'm looking forward to that. And I wanted to thank the Arts Commission for going to such great lengths for trying to figure out how to create these hybrid events where what used to be, I think, these great, community events, they're still trying to keep virtual community events, both with the night market and then their sidewalk chalk art contest that I never thought I would do until Michael called and asked for one on Main Street. And I was cursing a few times about why I was coloring, but it turned out to be really fun. And I'm looking forward to seeing everyone's entries. He's posted some, and some it looks like some kids had fun. And then there were also some amazing artists involved. And so I just like to thank them for keeping the community efforts going.
How about our city administrator, Jason?
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Hayden. And just to dovetail on something that Councilmember Newman just brought up, if you try to register for that AWC course and it's full, but you'd still like to attend, please reach out to me by end of day tomorrow, and I can get you invited to the internal committee. The Internal Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee is watching that webinar series as well, and we're doing it remotely because I know space is really limited for that training. So if you're interested and have time, let me know. I'll also be able to distribute the recordings of those trainings in the coming weeks as they're released. So upcoming policy issues, next week's study session, we'll be discussing utility rate model. And this is the first step in setting the utility rates for the 2021-22 biennium. I'll also be providing an update on the staff's efforts regarding our diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. Just a friendly reminder, there are 5 Mondays in August, so no meeting on the 31st. Enjoy the Monday off. And then the next regular council meeting is actually on Tuesday, September 8th, due to the Labor Day holiday. And we'll be discussing an ordinance updating our code enforcement procedures, approval of a purchase and sale agreement for the intergovernmental transfer of Station Lane parking lot to East Pierce Fire and Rescue, a resolution amending the East Pierce Fire and Rescue interlocal agreement, as well as an ordinance amending our parking code along 142nd, as well as 32nd Street west of West Valley Highway. Did want to point out, I know at our last regular council meeting, we had a resident come in and talk to council about possibility of installing a pride crosswalk. Staff continues to gather information about the costs and legality of installing a pride crosswalk, and we have that scheduled for discussion at the September 14th study session. Some commission updates. Planning Commission is holding a public hearing this Thursday at 6 p.m. regarding 5G small cell wireless regulations. Visit our website for the virtual meeting information. Also that day, a little earlier at 3:30, the Lodging Tax Advisory Commission will be meeting to discuss the occupancy tax allocation, and there's some projects related to our downtown that are up for discussion. I want to share something on the significant development activity. I'm actually going to share my screen here. Maybe. There we go. You should be able to see a picture of a track hoe tearing down a building. Why is this interesting? Well, staff issued a determination of consistency for the demolition of the old bank building at the Red Apple. This is actually started today, and it's the first step towards revitalizing that block and getting us something that will be a very big asset for the downtown core. And then a couple other notes. Mr. Reed noted or mentioned that we did the mobile COVID testing at Sumner High School over the weekend. We did have staff assist with that, helping manage the traffic flows. And today we also had staff on site at Daffodil Elementary helping to distribute the school supplies and backpacks. Very successful event. I heard they actually had everything dispersed by 11:15. So very quick way of getting all those supplies out. And that's it, Deputy Mayor.
Thank you. Yeah, it was, I've never seen so many people, and we ran out twice. They went and brought in more, and we ran out again. So there's another opportunity tomorrow at Liberty Ridge up in Bonnie Lake, and also at the Family Center on the 24th and 25th of this month. If the public needs to get backpacks for the kids. So that's all I have. We have no executive session tonight. So I adjourn this meeting at 6:21.
Good meeting. Thank you.